Hi, I'm Buster. The internet calls me Silver Eagle, but either one works. Today, we need to have a serious talk about open source. 7 years ago, when I was younger and more idealistic, I started working on a little radio station project for a fandom I was in. I pledged at the time that that software would be fully free and open source, and whatever came after it would be too. I was a huge believer in the power of open source to serve the common good, to level the playing field between the haves and have nots, and I wanted to commit to it fully. Just under 4 years ago, that fandom specific software evolved into a standalone radio tool called AzureCast. Like its predecessor, AzureCast was and is fully free and open source software, available to anyone regardless of their wealth or status. Over the years, I've continued to pour my time and energy into the AzureCast project to the tune now of what must be thousands of hours of development, building out new features, fixing bugs, and diagnosing problems. And slowly but surely, the project's popularity has grown. We now have over 500 stars on GitHub and thousands of active stations broadcasting every day, which to me is an amazing thing. I still can't believe something I built has that kind of impact. Lately, though, we've started to see a problem. As the project's popularity increases, it brings in users of all types from around the world. Many of them are admittedly not familiar with open source software, or they picture all of open source as these big, corporate-backed projects like Chromium or Ubuntu. And for some of them, these misconceptions lead to a really toxic interaction. They storm into our project's community, demanding to speak to the manager and threatening to leave us for paid competitors, even though they've never donated or contributed or supported us in any way at all. If they've spent more than a few hours waiting for a response to their question, they'll tell us we're too late, that they've given up on our project and moved on. Basically, they come in and yell at us the way they'd yell when they're on the phone with Comcast. They think these two situations are the same. Never mind that behavior like that wouldn't even be okay in that scenario. For these users to march into my project and treat me that way, not as someone who volunteered countless hours of their time to give them something for free, but as someone who owes them even more, especially if I want to keep their business, is beyond the pale. But all of that would be okay were it not for another problem. You see, as the project's popularity has gone up, and the amount of time I spend providing support alone, let alone new development, has turned into a full-time job, donations have gone down. I don't know exactly why this is, but I chalk it up to a sense of diffusion of responsibility. The more users there are using a piece of software, the more likely it is that someone else is donating, so you don't need to anymore. It's just a theory, but maybe that's it. There's definitely no shortage of features being developed on a weekly basis. Maybe if we were a big name, corporate backed open source project, we could take this rise and fall of donations in stride without worrying that it would spell disaster for us. I, however, am not. My situation's way, way different from that. Because of some combination of physical and mental health problems, I can't work a regular software development job, or for that matter, any job. I do some small contract jobs here and there, but they don't pay the bills. Because of this, the debt piled up until spring of this year, when I had to go through a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I lost my debt, but I lost everything else too. My truck, about 80% of everything I owned, and I even had to give my cat up because I couldn't afford to take care of him. He's in good hands now, but I still miss him an awful lot. Now you might be wondering, why after all of that would I still be working on a project that doesn't pay me enough for rent, let alone any other living expenses? It's a good question, but really the answer is that if I can't do anything else, like working a regular job, I at least want to be doing something. It gives me a sense of purpose and helps me stay fresh as a developer with all the constantly changing best practices. But because of all of these factors, the increasing demands of the community for support, along with the declining support provided by said community, we're quickly approaching a point where, well, something's got to give. And what that something is, well, I don't know yet. Maybe it's my involvement in open source software. Maybe I'll just have to find something else to do. Honestly, though, that's not my dream. My dream isn't to be rich or live a luxurious life. It's just to be able to keep doing what I'm doing today and to be able to survive doing it. In order for that to happen, something fundamental will have to change from where it is today. Whether that change happens and whether we can alter our trajectory from the one we're on today, which is honestly getting harder and harder for me to bear, isn't up to me, it's up to you. I just hope that in some small way, sharing my experiences and struggles here can help make open source better for all of us. Thanks for watching.